Not that we're going to get any responses.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe a tweet.
So good. Yeah, right. Live stream.
Live stream.
Coming to you live.
So, anyways, anything so we're not on Spotify. Sorry, guys.
We're not on Spotify.
I read that wrong. Maybe eventually we will. We might look into it, because it's only like $10 a month. So maybe we might do that at some point. We'll think about it.
We'll think about it.
Yeah, send us some tweets and some emails if you want us to. So, and I think that's about it. Really, I don't think I have any other. I'm not sick anymore, at least.
That's good.
Not too much, so I don't sound funny other than normal.
Just the normal funny.
Just the normal one. So, I think that's it. Do you have anything interesting, Jacob?
Nope, I'm just a boring guy. Just the same old.
Doesn't get sick, just goes to work.
Yep. Work hard, play hard.
You had a fun St. Patty's Day.
I did. Well, I had a low key. I went up to the town and I did some. I won't say it was a bar crawl. I went to like 3 different places. Had a beer at 2 of them. It was pretty low key. It was a Sunday after all.
So my birthday is tomorrow. So when this posts, my birthday would have already passed. So here's to a good birthday.
Yeah. Huzzah.
Yeah, as well as it can be going to work. Woohoo. Ugh.
That's okay. You just need to get like a picture of like the Bahamas and just put it up by your desk. Just get some sand and just like put it on the floor so you can rub your feet in it.
Don't talk to me today. I'm on vacation. Okay. So let's go right into it then.
What is our topic for today?
Glad you asked. So this topic is the one that basically was the idea that started this whole podcast.
This is the big one. This is like, not the pilot, but this is the big shebang.
Yeah. And I know we have talked about it. You said you probably won't have too many, but I have a whole bunch. So this is going to be Raquel's show today.
All right.
So, and the topic is riding on the bus.
Oh, yeah, riding on the bus. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what is your experience on the bus?
I ride the bus pretty much every day to work. It is like $20 a day to park in downtown. So, no. That is too much. The bus it's like $2.50 there, $2.50 back, so it's $5 versus $20 a day. I think not.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah. The bus station is like 10-15 minute drive. Just go there. So I ride it every day for work.
That's pretty good.
What's your experience?
I have ridden the school bus many, many, many years ago. So many years that I really can't even remember it too well, which is terrible to say.
You had the Mercer trolley.
We had the Mercer trolley, so we would go downtown in order to go get lit, as they say. That was kind of fun, modestly, you know. I don't want to oversell, make good decisions. So we rode that.
We would run for that bus because we would wait till the last second. We used the trolley tracker. We wait till the last second. We're like, take shots, take shots, take shots. Oh no, the bus is here. And we run across.
Charging, zigzagging down the little waves.
I don't know if you were with us when we did that one because you only gone a couple times out with us.
Yeah, I didn't really.
I don't know if the one time you went out with us or whatever, we were running for the bus.
Possibly.
But other than that, we basically did it every single time because we were so close to the stop. So it only made sense to just kind of wait for it and take as many shots beforehand because you didn't want to have to buy any alcohol at the club because it's just too expensive.
Saving money. Drink responsibly.
Yeah. If we were part of a Greek or fraternity, we just have one of the pledges take us because that's what they usually did.
Gotta put in your time.
I was telling Frankie about that because Frankie was asking about what a sorority or fraternity was, and because we were watching Happy Death Day 2, and one of the main sorority girl, he was like, I thought she was a cheerleader, and I was like, no, she's part of a sorority. He was like, what's that? And I was like, well, Frankie.
That's funny. I didn't really know what they were until college either.
Yeah. He was like, oh, I might join. I was like, well, if you join, just keep in mind that they don't haze, but they haze.
I have no experience. I can't speak anything towards it, honestly.
So, I've heard a couple of stories, but it was funny because in one of my media studies classes, one of the fraternities did a review on Animal House, I think it's called, or Party House.
Animal Farm?
I don't remember what it was called, but it was about a fraternity, and...
Oh, not Animal Farm.
Yeah, not
It's a whole
Animal
different
Farm.
kind of club.
Yeah, I think it was like Animal House or something like that. And he did a review about it, and he was talking about hazing and how hazing, because it's an older movie too, and so he was comparing it to modern day fraternities and the different expectations that like how people see fraternities and how it actually is.
Oh, right. The misconceptions and things.
Yeah, and so he was talking about how like hazing doesn't actually exist, and something came about. And it was with Dr. Gottschalk, and she said something, and he was like, "No, we just have like traditions and like traditions that you have to go through when you join." And she was like, "Well, what type of tradition is?" He was like, "Those are secret." It's like, how can you say it's not hazing then? How do we know it's not hazing? You have like these secret traditions that people have to go through to become. It's not hazing though. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. If they didn't want to do it, they wouldn't do it, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe that's perpetuating. I don't know.
That's what I was telling Frankie, though. It's like, just like, if they do haze, then I'm just telling, like, that's something to expect, that they probably are going to haze you. So it could be any, and he's like, well, what's hazing? I'm like, well, I mean, it's different things that they make you do to join. So it could be like staying up for a certain amount of like days, or like drinking a whole bottle of vodka, or like different things, cleaning the bathroom floor with your toothbrush and then brushing your teeth.
Petty tests to prove your quote unquote loyalty.
Exactly. Okay, into our topic then, since we kind of discussed a little bit about
right
what
onto the bus.
Yeah, so let's hop on. So I guess I'm going to start it off then, right?
Yeah, what's something? So let's pretend I'm a novice bus rider. It's my first time. I've never been on a bus. What's the first rule I should know about bus riding?
Okay, so let's see. The very first one would be don't fall asleep on the stranger's shoulder. This kind of and you think that this is kind of like common sense. You would know not to fall asleep on the person's shoulder next to you, but it happens all the time because like you're not really in control. So if you're in like the aisle sleep, you're like kind of like just falling asleep. And it's like if you notice you're falling asleep and you're not in the window seat where you can just rest your head, then you need to stand. Like, because, like, well, the bus I ride is, like, super kind of crowded. So, I mean, you usually have people standing because there's no more seats. If you're falling asleep, then stand. Like, don't fall asleep on my shoulder.
What do you do in that case? Do you, like, drop your shoulder a little and, like, jolt them awake? Oh, sorry, I slipped. Or...
I kind of, like, nudge them, like, and they're like, oh, and then they start to fall asleep again. I'm like, what the hell?
You just start coughing really hard. Just make some big, nasty cough sounds.
Sometimes I think about that, though. Like, cough, like, almost like you're sick. When, like, if you have someone sitting next to you, you don't really want to sit next to you, and there's like a couple of other open seats. Sometimes I think about that, where like if I act like I'm super sick, this person might not want to sit next to me because they're not going to want to catch it, so they might move to one of those other open seats.
That's a trick. Just get one of those paper masks that you wear on your ears. Just get that all the time. You have to go on the bus, and no one will want to sit by you. Plus, it'll keep you healthier, right?
Yeah, but that's a normal thing here for some reason. Like, people actually always wear those masks.
But do you still sit by them if you can help it?
Yeah.
If you got two identical people, one's wearing a mask, do you sit by them or the one without the mask?
Well, see, here in California, most of the time the people who are wearing the mask aren't people who are sick. They're people who don't want to be sick.
Yeah, that's true too.
So, like, I'm going to sit next to that person because they're not sick.
I don't know. I've only ever thought it was like if you're coughing, you wear those so you don't spread stuff. Like if you have to leave the house. That's a big gamble you're taking there.
I think about that too. Like when I was sick during the flu, I thought about that having the mask. But like I said, most of the time, the people who are wearing the mask are people who just don't want to be sick. And you can kind of tell because they're like kind of hesitant, like germ-wise. You can kind of see it.
Maybe because they're trying not to spread their germs.
Nah, not usually, Jacob. They're not coughing or anything either. They seem like perfectly healthy people.
Alright. I saw one in a taco shed the other day. All I'm saying, he was coughing a lot wearing a mask. So we're 1-1.
But this is like I said, like you don't notice it that much here in California. Like you see masks all the time. It's not people who are sick though.
Yeah, I guess.
It just depends.
Alright.
Okay. Do you want me to go again? Is it going to just be my show? All about me.
I think so. I'll try and ask questions. I'll try and keep the voice of the audience, maybe, if I can be honored as such a task.
Okay. Going back to falling asleep. Here's another thing. So, like, don't fall asleep on someone's shoulder, but really just don't fall asleep if you're sitting in the aisle seat. If you're falling asleep and you're on the window seat, it's not that big of a deal because you just lean up against the window. Another reason why not to fall asleep in the aisle seat is not just because you're going to fall fall asleep on their shoulder, but because now you're blocking the way for the person who's at the window seat to get out. They gotta wake you up.
Oh, yeah. They're trapped.
Yeah, so, like, even if you're not, like, falling asleep and you're not, like, falling asleep onto their shoulder, don't fall asleep if you're in the aisle seat. Don't you know you're blocking the way? So
that's a long, like, I guess some people would sleep. Because how long is, like, a bus trip for a lot of people?
The bus trip for me is really, like, 30 minutes. It takes me closer to an hour to get home. And that's just because I have to wait, like, maybe 10 minutes for the bus. Then I get to the bus station, and it's, like, another, like, 10, 15-minute drive home. But the bus is, like, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. But, I mean, this is after sometimes, like, super early in the morning, at, like, 5 o'clock in the morning. Or...
Yeah, and who am I kidding? I totally remember curling up, sleeping across the seats on the bus going to school. I would do that all the time. Not on the trolley. Not on the college trolley, for sure, no.
Or a long day at work. So then you're falling asleep on the way home.
Yeah, for sure.
But talking about sitting in the aisle seat. Like, there's a lot of these rules are for people who are sitting in the aisle seat.
Just don't sit in the aisle seat. Just don't do it. Just walk to work.
And this drives me crazy when people do this. Don't you know, when you're sitting in the aisle seat and the person in the window seat wants to get out, to get up and let them out. Some people just turn their body and move their legs out the way. But you're still in the way. Especially if they have a bag or something like that. Because now they have to try to squeeze past you because you didn't get up and move out the way. You just moved your legs out the way. You kind of see how I'm how I'm talking?
Yeah, I see it as a little lazy, I guess.
It's blocking the way. Because, like, I have my book bag and then, of course, I have my purse. So when you do that, guess what? You're going to get hit with my bag or my purse. Because I'm not going to purposely try not to hit you. Because it's like, you're in the way. Get up and move.
Guess. I don't know. I think it depends. Like, I'm a tiny guy. It's hard for me to be in the way. If I move my legs, they're almost flush with the seat, you know? But I guess it depends on how tight it is and if they have a bag or something or...
Okay, so you're still sitting in the seat and you just kind of turn your body to face the aisle, so you're just moving your legs out. So they have to squish past, they have to go between the seat and the front, and then you try to get through. But the thing is like, it doesn't matter if you're a tiny person, because, like, that little area you could be using to kind of move your upper torso or your hands or your stuff like that, and it's in the way.
I guess I'm thinking, again, yeah, these are complete strangers who you really don't want, like, they're like, because it's like their waist area too. You don't want, like, their bottom right in your face too. Just like, yeah, I'm just gonna stand up. I'll let you out, don't worry.
And speaking of butt in the face thing, I have something for that too. But yeah.
Oh goodness, I've unleashed the floodgates.
No, actually that's one of the things I have on this list too, so. But, I don't know, that's like the one thing, like, irritates me. Sometimes I like, sit here and I have a moment of thinking, like, should I just hit them in the face with my bag? Then maybe they won't ever do that again.
So rude.
It's so rude for them not to get up!
You know, just to be hit in the face. Oh my goodness. So violent.
Our audience knows by now that I'm a very impatient person.
You're a very rude one. You belong in the city. Or maybe the city's ruined you.
The city's ruined me, Jacob. I don't remember doing that on the trolley. Usually, though, it was like Sasha or Lindsay or Kristen or someone who was sitting beside me, though. Or you. So, I mean.
Yeah, you're allowed to be rude to your friends, sure.
Well, when I got up, they got up too, so.
Oh, I see. Fair enough.
Okay, so going back to the whole when you're sitting down and the other person's standing, they're basically their face and basically their butt and crotch is in your face. So
not pleasant.
Not pleasant. So when all the seats are taken and you're staying in the aisle, stand facing the front. Don't you know? Stand facing the front. Because when you're doing this like sideways thing, now your like crotch or butt's like facing like the person that's sitting, and some of these people don't realize that, and they're like, oh, come on.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? Face the front. And not only that, but when you're facing the front, you're taking up like less room so more people can come onto the bus.
Yeah, you're stacking like sardines.
So yeah, so it's like, why in the world are you, like, this can't be comfortable for, like, this definitely isn't comfortable for me. I mean, I don't know what kind of kinky things you're into, but it's not comfortable for me.
On the bus.
On the bus. Don't you know? Face the front. And another thing, too. No, let's see. Do you have anything? I have a few more. We're kind of going through these quick. I'm hungry.
So I know there are written rules about, like, you're not supposed to have a telephone on or something, but what's about, like, playing music? I assume you're not allowed to play music on a bus.
That's actually one of my don't you knows, Jacob. You got my mindset.
All right, let's hear.
Don't play your music on the bus.
Don't play your music on the bus. Is it legal, though? Like, are you allowed, or will the bus driver tell you to stop?
Yeah, you're allowed to, but it's, like, really annoying.
It's frowned upon. Your music sucks.
Yeah, your music sucks. No, like, I can't stand some of the music that some of these people play, and it's just, just put your headphones in. And not only that, but, like, sometimes it's, like, super early in the morning, people are tired, they don't want to hear blasting music. And one thing also that bothers me too is that like people will have their headphones in and they're still like blasting their music through their headphones so you can hear it. It's like, what's the point of the headphones?
Oh yeah.
Which we kind of talked about this with the sidewalk thing, but the same thing still applies to the bus. Don't like put your headphones in. Don't have it where the person next to you can hear, make out the words that are playing in your song, and just be at like, what's wrong with wearing headphones? So,
sharing is caring, you know.
Someone gets on the bus and they're playing their music. I had to put my headphones in, or I move to the front of the bus, or wherever I move to the opposite direction of them, because I don't want to hear it. It's always like the same type of music, so I guess that says something about those type of people who listen to that music. Inconsiderate.
Don't alienate her. It's always ICP. It's the Insane Clown Posse people. See, we can talk crap about them because we know they don't listen to podcasts.
Unless you're blasting our podcast, don't be playing music on the bus.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey everybody on the bus, thanks for
listening. Let's see.
What about food? Food and drink.
Okay, so technically food and drink are not allowed on the bus. I see people do it anyways. Some bus drivers just don't really care. I don't really care. Honestly, if someone's eating on the bus. I mean, other than if I'm hungry, then I kind of care, because then I'm like, oh, it smells so good, I'm hungry.
What if they're eating, like, a sushi chili, or something just really smelly?
Well, then, that's kind of approaching personal hygiene kind of thing to me, at least.
No, it's healthy. It's pungent.
Well, I mean, that's unfortunate. I mean, you shouldn't be eating something smelly on the bus. I don't care if you're eating on the bus. Don't eat something smelly. That's kind of like going on like your first date or whatever like that. You don't order something like nasty.
You want the garlic onion flour? Oh yeah, perfect.
So, I mean, like, that's kind of, like I said, that's kind of like a personal hygiene thing. Like, if you like something, like, if you like to eat something that is smelly, then you do that in your personal home. Like, I don't even like eating, hard-boiled eggs at work because they have it because they smell.
Oh yeah, they kind of do. I love them.
Yes, I don't like eating them at work, and so I don't eat those too often because I don't eat breakfast at work because it takes me like an hour or two before I'm hungry after getting up by them at right. Work. So to me, that's kind of like a personal hygiene because like you eating food and your breath after is like kind of all together incorporates your body odor. Like whatever you're eating incorporates your body odor basically. That's the way I look at it, at least. So, that's why I smell like steak. I'm just kidding. Not anymore, because of Lent. I miss my meat.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I got this, like, vegan bacon. I mean, vegan bologna.
Vegan bologna?
Yeah, because I'm getting tired of peanut butter sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
So, I got a vegan bologna. I figure I'd try it. I tried soy chorizo. That's really nasty. That or it just, like, wasn't... that or was the wheat tortilla that I tried. Because I can only have whole wheat, like,
right.
stuff. So I tried a whole wheat tortilla. And that was actually kind of nasty, too. So I'm not sure if it was the chorizo that was... I think what was kind of disappointing about the chorizo was that it kind of almost tasted just like... It didn't really taste like chorizo. It tasted almost like super, super strong, like, taco seasoning.
Oh, like just real heavy on the cumin.
Yeah. Try to hide the soy product.
Yeah. Just cumin soy.
I'm gonna try this vegan bologna, see how that turns out.
Nice. We can have Lent cooking reviews with Raquel.
I was debating about these Smart Dogs, which are vegan hot dogs, and my aunt says she tried vegan hot dog one time, and she said it was really good. The only thing is I have to get a whole wheat hot dog bun.
That's not so bad.
Yeah. Well, the question is trying to find it.
Ah, come on, they'll have them in stores. They'll just be in the hot dog aisle. The hot dog bun aisle.
Last time I went to Sprouts, I only saw regular hot dog buns. So I was kind of in a hurry today. So I didn't.
Sprouts. What is this West Coast lingo?
Sprouts is like almost kind of like an organic kind of store. I'm trying to think of what would be in comparison at Georgia.
Like a Whole Foods or something, maybe.
Yeah, it's similar to a Whole Foods.
Yeah, I gotcha. I'm just messing with you.
But yeah, okay. So give us another one, Jacob.
All right, let's see. Anybody with kids in the bus? You ramble on about the kids. We know how much you like those working parents or just parents in general.
Not too much. I mean, when it comes down to kids on buses and on like airplanes and stuff like that, I have a super high tolerance kind of for it. It's when it comes down to like movie theaters and restaurants, because those are all more of a luxury kind of thing to do.
Yeah, it's more leisure for sure.
Yeah, so if you can't control your kid, or your kid's just too young to really understand how to control themselves, then you shouldn't go to those places, at least in my opinion. Like, I don't want to deal with a crying baby in a movie theater. I don't want to deal with a crying baby at a restaurant. If your kids can't sit down, then they shouldn't be at a restaurant, or... Because those things don't need to happen. Like, you can do fast food. You can make your own food at home. You can watch movies at your own home. Those aren't necessities. But going on the bus or going on the airplane, there's not really much choice sometimes. Like, you might not have a car or some type of vehicle, so you have to go on the bus. Now, I will say that the kids that are, like... Because a lot of high schoolers will ride the buses going home. Because you don't have very many school buses. They just ride the regular buses. Now, they are really annoying. When they're in groups, because they're like super, super loud. And that's one of my don't you knows is don't you know, don't be loud in the mornings or after work or ever. Just don't be loud.
Just don't be loud. Just be quiet. Loud is for people who haven't, for unsophisticated people.
Loud is for non-enclosed areas and small tight places.
And emergencies, of course.
But other than that, like other little kids that, like, you know, maybe a crying baby or something, like that sucks because there's no getting around it. But at the same time, it's like, oh, well, I mean, what you gonna do about it? That's not that person's fault.
Right. You were a crying baby at one point.
So, yeah. I have not as much tolerance for kids running around on the buses or changing seats constantly. That's super annoying. Like, that parent needs to... And what gets me, though, is, like, a lot of times when that happens, it's because this parent has, like, 5 kids. It's like, dude, learn to close your legs. Not that there's anything wrong with having 5 kids, but if you can't control your 5 kids, then that is a problem.
That's funny. Because, you know, they start hitting 10 or 11 pound for pound. They outweigh you.
Yeah. Because my dad has 4 kids. And my grandparents, like, they had 5 kids. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just if you can't control them. Like, if they're running all over the place, then they're little delinquents.
Well, you're a bit of a troublemaker yourself.
No, I'm not. What you laughing about?
I'm no more comment. No further comments.
Speaking of closing your legs, that's actually one of my things is, don't you know, don't spread your legs, like, wide open. I understand.
I thought this was going a different direction.
I can see where you thought it was going, but no. So I understand that guys have a thing in between their legs, so they can't necessarily keep their legs like knee to knee touching to each other.
Here we go, the man spreading.
But okay, so this is that. And so, like, you have these little small seats, and the guy wants to spread the legs, like, wide open, and now your, like, leg is touching mine and all in my space.
Look, you can do it too.
No!
This is not exclusive to guys. It is a comfortable way. You relax your legs, and they go that... It's just comfortable.
We're talking about basically, like, doing the butterfly in the sea, okay?
If you're pushing them way out, that's rude. But, like, if you just have a little bit...
Yeah, that's fine. Have your legs a little open.
Like, what are we talking? Like, 30 degrees tops. Maybe 45. 45's pushing it.
But, like, still within your own kind of space. Like, yes, the seats are small, but, it's not... I'm talking about, like, these people are doing, like, the butterfly effect. Not butterfly effect.
Like, splits.
Yeah, they're doing a split in their seat here.
They're stretching out. They probably got their, like, fingers interlaced behind their heads, too. Just, like, lean back, like they're, like...
They are leaning back most of the time. But it's like, dude, your leg's, like, in my space touching me. close your legs a little bit and we both have our space. I understand, having your legs open. That's fine. But, don't be overdoing it.
Don't cross the line, literally.
People will be like, it's mostly guys. You're right, mostly guys. And they have their legs, wide open, and they're in the aisle seat, and their legs, in the aisle. So you have to, try to move around their leg to get off the bus.
Yeah, it's kind of rude. Whenever somebody is, coming near me, I'll, move my foot in a little bit. Even though my foot isn't even in the way and we're, standing and there's, 10 feet, I'll still, shuffle my feet or stand up a little straighter or something so they can pass. Just acknowledge that they exist. Hey, I see you're trying to pass. I'm going to make that small fraction of a percentage easier for you. You're welcome. Have a good day.
Oh, what's even worse is so I don't have a problem if the bus is not crowded who wants to sit in the aisle seat just so someone doesn't sit with you. But you have people who sit in the aisle seat, no one's sitting in the window seat, but yet they have their legs still spread wide open, and so now they're, partially in the aisle, to get off the bus now. It's what the heck? You might as well just sit in the middle of the two seats and have your legs spread open.
Just take a picture of them.
I put you on Twitter so people know who exactly you are.
Yeah, there you go. Tag us. Post pictures of these people and tag us. No, don't do that. Don't get in fights.
Get in fights.
Have you ever had a fight on a bus? You ever witnessed somebody throwing fisticuffs, catching hands, depending on which generation you're from?
I've seen a lot of people who are super high on the bus. They're tweaking on the bus. And I've seen a lot of people who are mentally unstable get on the bus. Because the bus goes downtown, so a lot of times the homeless people will hop onto the bus. And I don't know. I guess the bus drivers don't want to deal with it. Because they don't pay to get on the bus, obviously, because they have no money. But they hop on and the bus drivers don't do anything about it. And then they're, tweaking out in the back, or... I had one person sit behind me. They were yelling all types of stuff, right there by my ear. And I'm just don't turn around, don't make eye contact. Ooh, come on, my bus stop's 2 more stops away.
Oh, that's so awkward.
Yeah. And then I had one person who, one morning, I don't know if he was, high or he was drunk or what, but, people in the back were yelling. And it's in the morning, so it's okay, well, more people are usually sleepy in the morning. But this person was, falling, out of the seat. So I don't know if, they that was extreme to sleep, to be, completely falling out after only, a couple of seconds. Already you're asleep and, falling out of the seat.
He had one of those Inception dreams where he needed a kick.
And, I don't know. And then he was, kind of, yelling a little bit. Kind of you know how, that whisper yell is? You don't really want someone to hear you, but you're expressing your frustration kind of thing. I don't know if he...
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's kind of, doing that. Yeah. He was shut the... Oh! Because the people in the back were, yelling. Because they were the people in the back were in a very, heated discussion. Not so much, heated as in they're about to start a fight, but heated as in, I'm very passionate about my opinion.
I see what you're saying, yes. Politics or sports or something.
It was sports.
Oh, it was sports. It's always sports.
And, so he's all, so he was doing that, and then I think he got off early, because he got tired of the people, but I was oh, thank God, because, I think you were on drugs, man.
Not the chill kind either.
Not the chill kind.
You want one of those chill pills? You want one of those chill strips? Put it on your tongue, it dissolves? Chill. That's red versus blue. That's a Halo reference from way back in the day.
I thought red and blue. Oh wait, no, you're talking about actually. Okay, I see. Never mind. So don't invade people's personal space. We kind of touched on that with lots of other topics that I've done, and I think I have 2 more. So what you got, Jacob?
I have no idea.
I have one that kind of applies to Mercer. Trolley.
That's what I'm trying to think about one as well. I'm also thinking about some sort of luggage, whether it be I don't know why a big balloon is coming into mind, but you ever get people with 50 balloons trying to get on the bus, or a bunch of luggage, and it's
People get on the bus with suitcases all the time.
Oh yeah? What's that like? Just too big, or a suitcase that's manageable or whatever?
Kind of a big suitcase. There's a lot of tourists that get onto the bus. There's a lot of, the homeless people get on the bus and they have all their bags and suitcases. I've gone to the bus after a convention and had a whole bunch of bags. I don't know,
I just imagine you put them on a seat, right? Or do you have to put them underneath the bus?
The thing is okay, so don't you know that don't put it in the middle of the aisle, because I've had that happen, and it's hard to get around. And don't put it in the seat if the bus is really full, because now someone can't sit in that seat. So it's either got to be able to fit into your lap or fit into your lap and under your seat kind of thing.
Right.
Kind of like airplane mode.
Right.
Only packages that fit under your seat. Or, see now, there's also the very front of the bus, because the seats face, like, each other, instead of facing towards the front. So you have a lot more room, so you can have, like, more bags and kind of in front of you without it being blocking the aisle.
Right, so if you get that, you're pretty lucky, but I imagine those are usually pretty full. Like, those are the first seats people grab, aren't they?
Not too often, no, because they're technically reserved for handicap. So a lot of times people won't sit there just because if someone with a wheelchair comes in, then you have to get up and try to find another seat.
Yeah, and then you got, like, the bottom of the barrel choices, because everyone else got the rest.
Yeah, and so, or you have to give up your seat to someone who's handicapped or whatever, so they're more, like, you usually don't pick those. Not only that, but since they're facing each other, it's super awkward, because now you're not facing the front of the bus, you're facing the person, like, directly across from you and staring, and it's just weird.
You're staring at, hi, how's it going?
Yeah, so those aren't really desirable seats.
Or you just stretch all the way out and, like, put your feet on the chair. It's like plank.
Well, no, because then you're blocking the aisle.
Yeah, I know. I'm just teasing.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you didn't quite understand what seats I was talking about. You want me to do my last two?
Yeah, sure. Let's hear 'em. I'm trying to think of some more. Maybe these will trigger them.
Yeah, because we have we're at 38 minutes now-ish, so.
Yeah, your poor tummy must be rumbling.
I know, I'm so hungry. I want to eat my baked potato because it's the only thing I can eat.
Sacrifices you must make.
I know. My dad was all like, you're going to pay the lotto right after this. And I'm going to pray for you. And I was like, well, that's not how it works.
That's funny.
Okay. So here's the one. I was kind of thinking, maybe Jacob will say this because of Mercer's Trolley. Don't you know, don't puke on the bus.
Oh, yeah, I think that's just an obvious rule. Don't puke anywhere, ever.
Oh, that happened I don't know if that actually ever happened while I was on the trolley, but I know it been a couple of times where they hosed the bus down, but you can still kind of smell it. You know, have you ever been on one of those? On the trolley one time that happened?
Nope.
Because you had a lot of people puking on the bus on the trolley.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that's a routine thing. That's why, I'm hesitant to do Uber, because, that's got to be a thing. Or Lyft. Other services are available.
If anything, I would probably, because I did do Uber for a little bit. I didn't have any issues. I think my dad had one person puke in his car. And you go get it cleaned and they reimburse you for what it costs to get it cleaned. But, you could also always just deliver the food. They have, I don't know if it's so big in Georgia, but here they have DoorDash and Grubhub and stuff like that, so you could just deliver food. So that's probably, if I ever did that again, that's probably what I would do. I wouldn't do Ubers. And it's just because it's kind of weird to have some stranger in your car. I just didn't like it. Okay, and my very last one.
All right, last one.
Not only is it the last one, but it's one of the most important one.
The grand finale.
Especially in the summer is, don't you know, wear deodorant.
As soon as you said in the summer, I knew where this was going.
Slather that sucker on, man. Some of these people, it's put the window down.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, I'm gonna have to move. I'll stand.
Oh, that's so gross.
And you're all you're squished sometimes, and it's hot, and it's just
oh, and you only keep the towel with you, so you can wipe your arms off. Oh, that's so gross.
See, luckily in California, it doesn't get too hot. A total of 2 to 3 weeks of humid weather. Total. Not 1 week and then another week. So there might be a couple days here and there that's humid, a couple of days here and there. So it's all together total, maybe 2 to 3 weeks.
Right.
People still sweat like crazy, and it's just deodorant, man. If you're one of those people who are stinky, pack some deodorant with you.
Yeah, just carry it in your bag. You won't regret it.
So, just,
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Deodorant.
You're not exempt. Just because you don't smell yourself doesn't mean we don't.
Yeah.
You can't smell yourself like we do.
That is actually one of the, don't you knows that, my supervisor gave. Because we were talking about it because we both ride the bus together. And, that's how this podcast came about. Was his don't you know wasn't so much with deodorant, but was don't you know to don't have stinky bags. Because he says he's gone on the bus a couple of times and people have super smelly bags. And he says usually it's a high schooler, I guess it's their gym bag or something like that, but they've had stinky bags. So that's his don't you know, guys. Another don't you know from someone else. is don't you know not to have sticky bags. You need to have don't you knows from friends, dude.
Yeah, I should. I'll ask around. I never know the topics until day of.
Well, I mean, just if you have like someone say a don't you know for a situation, I'm gonna add it to one of our things.
Okay, touche. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, or like just like I have a whole bunch of notes here that I keep whenever we come across a topic or something like that. You can have it already and be like, oh yeah, and by the way, my coworker said for this topic. So you might not ever know the topic beforehand, but you can at least already have it kind of down. And then whenever we get to that subject, because we do talk about general subjects that we want to go over at some point.
Right.
With the deodorant, I know we're definitely going to do one about personal hygiene at some point. And we'll probably mix that with clothing.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's it. That's all I got.
I'm fresh out as well.
Okay, people. Put some deodorant, people.
Yeah, I was going to try and make a joke based on the wheels on the bus go round and round, but I'm not going to try and force that one.
That's what I was going to put in the description.
Oh, perfect.
Something about wheels.
Just to act like I came up with it. It'll be okay.
Just ruin my ideas. I hope you guys like the puns that I've been trying to do for all of our descriptions. I have one coming up, so been kind of jotting down some notes for this one that we're about to post.
Nice.
Which I got finished editing as well, so we have to get on going so I can finish that. Because I'm not even like halfway done with that. I gotta try to get it done today.
Once upon a time, in middle school, in my Spanish class, I was actually picking up Spanish pretty well, and we had an exchange student named Omar who came into our middle school. And because I was just kind of okay at Spanish, he and I were talking to each other, and the Spanish teacher was kind of helping us where we were getting stuck. And we were walking to somewhere. We were going to another classroom or something, and we got into a conversation about how we get to school, or about something, because I don't think I had the context. And he said something about the bus, and I was racking my brain trying to understand this word, the bus. What is this he's saying? The bus. B-O-O-S, bus. And after about 5 minutes of miscommunication, we decided to ask, and she talks with him for a second, and she goes, the bus. And I was like, oh, okay. He rides the bus. That's what he's trying to tell me, and I felt like such a dummy. But there you go. That's kind of a relevant story to this topic, I guess.
That's better than some of our other tangents. They're gonna have a spin-off, by the way, because we talked about Pretty Liars last time. They're gonna have a spin-off of the show. I think I might watch it.
Nice.
It's only gonna have like 2 of the same characters, but there's a possibility. Like one of the characters is dating another of the characters that I actually kind of like. So there's a possible chance that she will come into play every once in a while, maybe.
Yeah, there's a good chance there will be cameos and things, too.
I didn't like her character at first, because she just kind of seemed very, like, weak. And it just bothered me, because she's, like, supposed to be, like, the athletic one of the group, but she just seemed weak. But after a while, she kind of stepped up to the plate, and she was, like, a protective kind of person. And I was like, okay, now your character is a likable character.
Pretty cool. Well, hopefully it turns out well.
We'll have to catch you guys next week, because I'm hungry. Peace out!
Later.